Yep. Okay, जी. Okay, students. So let's get started. Okay. So we have Assalamu alaikum, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And this is May, June 2023, paper 3, 1 and 3, 3. Okay. It comes in paper 3, variant 1 and paper 3, variant 3 as well. May, June 2023, based on the questions A to accounting ratios and company accounts as well. Okay. Getting it, everyone clear with me? Following? Any questions, any doubts, any problems? Got it?
Yes.
So as we already know that we have this, now we have some small information in the sources. So source B for question number 2 is the directors of Z PLC provided the following information. So we have the directors of Z PLC providing us the following information. What we have, students, sir, we have revenue, all credit sales, we have purchases, all on the credit. We have the non-current assets turnover. Okay, so we have some ratios as well. We have, sir, price to earnings ratio, dividend yield 4%, gross profit margin 48%, final dividend proposed, and interim dividend paid. Okay, so interim dividend paid and final dividend proposed. So we have those. And then we have the closing balance sheet items as well, students, that we have at the end of the year, 31st December 2022, which means that our year is starting from where, students? Everyone can hear me, right? We are starting from 1st January 2022 till 31st December. This is our year. Okay, students, everyone got this clear with me following? Any problem in this?
Yes.
Any questions? Okay. So that is where we stand. And then we have share premium, ordinary share capital, some debentures. So we have equity, long-term liabilities, assets values, current assets, and current liabilities as well. All of these items we are familiar with. These are all the balance sheet item, the statement of financial position. Okay, students, getting it? Everyone clear? All of these items are statement of financial position items. Okay, everyone clear? Got this? Any
Yes.
problem? Clear? So now what is the question requirement? This is a simple source. And the question requirement is that we have to read source B, okay? Read source B in the insert as it is recent paper, May, June 2023. And then you have to give to the examiner. First part is theory, basic theory, no analysis. You can learn this theory as well from the notes. That is basically you have to give two comparisons, state two comparisons, which a business may make by using ratios to assess its performance, okay? So we have to do two comparison, students, that why the businesses are using ratios for assessing their performance. So state two comparisons which a business be making for using its ratios to assess its performance. Okay, getting it clear on this? Any questions? Any problem? Okay, getting it? So the two
Yes, sir.
comparisons that why business may be using the ratios to assess their performance, they may be doing the comparisons with the other competitors. Okay, they may be doing the comparisons with the industry, intercompany comparisons. Okay, they might be doing comparisons based with against the industry average. What is happening in the industry? As we have done a question on that as well, that the gearing ratio, it might be different for you, but it might be different for the industry average. You can work out your previous performances. Have you done better in the liquidity positions? Have you done better in the efficiency ratios? Have you done better in the profitability ratios? Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, everyone getting it clear? So you can write down, because you just have to word the word of state, you can say that for the industry average, they must be, the comparisons must be done to work out the industry average. Okay, what is the industry average, and how much ratios your business have achieved, what performance your business have done. Then you can say that it might be the intercompany comparisons. Okay, intercompany comparisons and comparisons with the competitors. Okay, intercompany inside intercompany comparisons, and we can say comparisons with the previous financials year. Okay, everyone with me following? Comparisons with previous financials years. Are you guys there with me following? Understood? Any problems with previous financial years? Okay, students, following this clear? Any problem? Let me know. Any doubt? Any questions? Got this? We can say industry average or the analysis, the trade analysis, trend analysis, sorry, trend analysis. How is your trend going? Okay, maybe in 2018 you had 50% gross margin. In 2021, you get it to 40%, then it is increasing to, so you can do the trend analysis as well, the yearly basis analysis as well, using the help of ratios to assess your performance. Okay, everyone getting it clear on this? This is what you
Yes.
can write for this 2 marks theory. Okay. Moving forward after the 2 marks theory, any questions on this? You have to calculate the net assets at the end of the year. Okay, students, very important to understand. This we haven't done before as well. How do you calculate, sir, the net assets at the end of the year, 31st December 2022? Okay. So how will you calculate the net assets at the end of the year, 31st December 2022? So students need to understand what is the formula. First thing is you need to know what is the formula. So the formula is you take all of the assets minus the liabilities is called the net assets. Okay, students, you will take all of the assets minus the total assets minus the total liabilities you will have to take to get the net assets. Okay, everyone getting it? Total assets minus total liabilities. Okay, everyone there with me? Got it? Make sure you know this formula. Okay, write it down, keep a note of it. Okay, everyone getting it clear? Following understood? Any questions?
No.
Guys, clear? So coming back to the question, we'll first find out what are the total assets. And in assets column, we are going to add all of the assets, okay? Which means all the assets means current assets and non-current assets, okay? More than 1 year and less than 1 year as well. So here we can see at the end of there, we are only, because we are dealing with the end of the year students. So we'll have to take only the end of the year assets. So we will take inventory, make sure 44,000 is inventory, trade receivables is 76,400, cash at bank is 81,000, getting it? So let me write down all of them. That assets are 44,000. Everyone there with me? 44,000 is the inventory. Everyone following, right? Trade receivables were
Yes.
76,400 from the question, students. Then we have cash at bank as well. That was, sir, how much was the cash at bank? Let's read it again. Was it a liability? No. Cash at bank was 81,000, 76,400 receivables, inventory 44,000. So cash at bank is 81,000, students. Everyone getting it? So these are all the current assets. Okay. These are all the current assets. Everyone getting it with me? Following?
Yes.
You will
Yes.
add the current assets. Okay. And you will have to find out the non-current assets as well. So the problem is, sir, that you don't have the non-current assets in this question, right? First, we add them 44,000 plus 81,000, 44 plus 81 plus 76,400. So I'm getting this as 201,400 as the current assets. There are only three current assets, students: inventory, trade receivables, and the cash at bank. Okay, there are three current assets. How will you find out the non-current assets, sir? So what we have, the non-current assets are not mentioned here, students. But as I said, everything has a formula and step by step every information will be is relevant here. So you have the non-current assets turnover. Everyone with me? That's where we have the non-current assets turnover. We can use that. Okay, everyone there? So some working, I'll do it here as I always say, and then I'll share the paper with you. So non-current asset turnover formula you should know first. And again, as I mentioned, A2 accounting ratios always comes with the AS level ratios. So this ratio is basically of the AS level. Okay, everyone getting it? This ratio is from the AS level, that is the non-current asset turnover. Okay, everyone with me following? Getting it, guys? So what is the formula? The formula is simple for the non-current assets turnover. Everyone getting it? It's the revenue divided by the non-current asset. Okay, it's the revenue, the total revenue divided by the non-current assets valuation or value. Okay, everyone getting it? Clear, sir? Guys following?
Yes.
So we can simply say here that this is 1.6 times we have the ratio. We have the revenue, all credit sales. Okay, sir, we have the revenue, all credit sales. 825,000, we have the revenue, sir. So it's simple, students. 825,000 divided by non-current assets, which we don't have, is equals to 1.6 times. And you can cross multiply, cross simplify. Make sure nobody is nobody is going to show this working here. You have to show this working here only. Okay, everyone with me following? You have to show this working here only. It's because it is better to understand there because all of the values are there. That's why I'm doing it there. Okay, students? Got it? Understood with me? So here we go. The non-current assets will be, guys following? Understood? 825,000 divided by 1.6 times. You will get the answer. Guys with me following? So I'm getting that as 515. Any questions? 515, 625. is the answer. Okay, everyone got this clear? Any problems, any issues? Let me know any
Yes, clear.
problems. We'll discuss. Okay. So we got the non-current assets as 515,625, sir. 515,625. So total assets will be simple, sir. Total assets will be the addition of them. That is 515,625 plus 201,400, all the current assets. So I'm getting them as 717,025. Okay. Everyone got this? These are the assets. And then you do the working for the liabilities, students. So we already know we have to add all the liabilities. So one of them will be the trade payables, right? And the other will be the debenture. Okay. Trade payables are 32,900, students, and then we have debentures of 100,000. Okay, so 32,900 are the debentures. Sorry, 32,900 are basically the trade payables. Everyone with me? Plus $100,000 are the debentures, long-term loan certificates. It will be 132,900. So here we go, sir. The net assets will be simple to find out. Everyone with me following that? Clear? It will be simple,
Yes.
sir. Net assets will be the total assets 717,025. Make sure take down notes and take a screenshot as well once I'm done with the calculation part so you can revise later. 717,025 minus 132,900. This is coming as 584,125 as the total net assets. Okay, everyone got it? 584,125. Okay, everyone getting it? Following? Make sure in most of the company questions and these type of questions, all questions are linked with the previous. Okay, previous things they are linked with. So maybe this part they have, there's a huge reason why they have asked you to find out this for only 2 marks, might be helpful in the next parts. Okay, everyone got it? 584,215,125, sorry. This is the net assets, 584,125. Okay, students got this? Any problem, anyone? Let me know. Clear, students? Guys got it? Any questions? Then what we have to do, sir, we have to quickly find out the retained earnings. Okay, everyone with me? Sir, we have to find out the retained earnings at the end of the year. Okay, is every again for 2 marks? We have to find out the retained earnings for at the end of the year. Okay, at the end of the year, 31st December 2022, students, we have to find out the retained earnings. Everyone clear with me following? Make sure, students, you have to find the retained earnings. Guys, can I get a response? We have to find the retained earnings for the end of the year. Okay, so what students need to do, it's very simple. For 2 marks, we already have the closing balances and we already know the basic equation. Okay, what is the basic equation? Assets minus liabilities is equals to what? Capital. And in the company's case, it is what? Assets minus liability is equals to equity or the capital, right? Guys, following? Everyone can hear me? Assets
Yes.
minus liability is equals to equity or the capital. That's what we have to do. That's, sir, you already know the assets minus liabilities answer. That is 584, 125. This question is a bit tricky. Why? Because if you are not able to solve the first part now, students, you will not be able to solve the remaining parts. And that is why this question becomes tricky and very important for students to understand. This is tricky. So follow carefully. How do you think about it? How do you compare and how do you get the answers? Sir, we have already taken help from the previous part that the total assets minus total liabilities, which is the net assets, we have already got it as 54,125. Everyone getting it? Now on the equity side, what we have, sir? On the equity side, we have ordinary share capital and share premium, these two things. But students, my students already know कि in the equity section क्या क्या आ सकता है. Equity section के अंदर you will have ordinary share capital, the share capital, you will have reserves, the share premium, the revaluation reserve. Okay, you will have general reserve. But यहाँ पर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. लेकिन यहाँ पर retained earnings का section, retained earnings का जो item है, retained earnings की value missing है और वही हमने find करनी है. So we will add the ordinary share capital and the share premium. Everyone getting it? Yes, sir. We will add the ordinary share capital, that is 300,000 as ordinary share capital plus 30,000, sir, as the share premium. And we don't know what is retained earnings. So that will be for the end of the year. ठीक है? And the balances question में जो balances given है वो at the end of the year के given है, right, students? So here we go. आपने इसको just minus करना है. And this will be also 2 marks and you will get the free answer as well. Okay, everyone got this clear? Any problem? Let me know. Guys got it? So it will be the
Yes.
retained earnings at the end of the year. Retained earnings at the end of the year will be how much? Retained earnings at 31st December 2022 will be how much? Will be equals to 584, 125 minus 330,000. It's basically 254,125. Okay, 254,125 is the retained earnings. Make sure you are using a calculator to get this. So 254,125, sir, is the retained earnings. 254,125 is the retained earnings for this. Okay, everyone got this clear? For the year ended 31st December 2022. Any doubts, any problems? Let me know. Clear on this? Any questions?
Nope.
Clear. So here we go. Up till now, this page is done. You can quickly take a screenshot. We have already got 6 marks out of the 25 marks for this question. Okay. Let me know quickly, so I'll move forward. Okay. Now, as always, remember it is very important for which the previous question that we did as well. You will always have to find the retained earnings at the start of the year. You see, the next part they're asking is to calculate the retained earnings for the start of the year at 1st January 2022. This is at the end of the year, and we have to go back to find the retained earnings at the start of the year. And this is worth 6 marks, which means a lot of huge calculation will be done. Okay, students, everyone with me? We have to find out retained earnings for at the start of the year. Everyone with me following there? Clear? Any problem? Done? Screenshot done on this, so I can move forward. Done. Now,
Yes.
so what was the formula I told you for this? Always remember retained earnings is simply and nothing apart from the statement of changes in equity section. Okay, extract. जो हम statement of changes in equity बनाते हैं students, we make the statement of changes in equity, उसमें हम retained earnings का extract बनाते हैं. That is basically only the extract of the retained earnings. That is basically only what we have to do here. Okay, you are going to take the opening balance of the retained earnings plus profit for the year. Everyone with me? Opening balance plus profit for the year. Guys with me following? Opening balance
Yes.
plus profit for the year minus the dividends that are paid during the year minus dividends that are paid during the year. It will give you the closing balance of the retained earnings. I'll repeat my point. आपने इस केस में बस यही करना है. It's very simple. 6 marks के लिए आपने यही करना है. Students already know. Students should know this. Okay, already we have what things we have. We have already the closing balance. ठीक है students, we already have the closing balance at the end of the year 31st December 2022. We have the closing balance. We just need to find out the balance of 1st January 2022. So what we have to do, students, dear, what we have to do, sorry, what we have to do is basically we just have to add the dividends back and subtract profit for the year, right? Everyone there with me? We will have to just add back the dividends and subtract profit for the year. Is everyone with me following, guys? Clear? Hello?
Yes.
So here we go. Make sure if you get the concept correct, then you can work it out. Okay, so we'll start with, sir, retained earnings. We'll start with, sir, retained earnings at 31st December. At the end of the retained earnings at 31st December 2022 or how much from the previous, that is 254,125. Every part of this is linked with the previous part. Okay, so if you got that wrong, which means you are losing marks. Okay, students, everyone with me following? Hello? Got it?
Yes.
Any questions? So this is, sir, that we have to find in the dollar comma. Okay, next what we have, retained earnings at 31st December 2022. We will add back the dividend. Okay, so we are going to add back the dividend, sir. So let's find out dividends from the question. Okay, everyone there with me? We are going to find out the dividends from the question. So here we go, sir. How much dividend was paid? Follow very carefully. I'll remove this, students. In the highlighter, sir, interim dividend paid per share. Per share interim dividend was paid $0.330. The interim dividend paid was $0.30 per share. And you already know, sir, how many shares were there. One share is for $1. एक share जो है वो $1 का है, sir. So if we have $300,000 as the value, students need to understand that it will be $300,000 divided by price of the one share. You will get the number of shares, that is 300,000 is the number of shares. It might seem stupid at the moment, sir. Everyone knows basic maths that if anything we divide by one is this, but sometimes it is matter. It will matter if you have different value for the per share. अगर ये 0.5 per share हो तो आंसर चेंज हो जाएगा. अगर ये 0.25 per share हो, what it will mean that एक शेयर $0.25 का है, तो कितने शेयर्स होंगे जिस जो इसकी डॉलर वैल्यू क्रिएट करें. So we already have an answer now that there are 300,000 number of shares multiplied by 1 will give us $300,000 share value in capital. So we got, students, 300,000 shares. and only 0.30 per share is the dividend paid. A lot of students will make the mistake and confusion. They will count the final dividend as well. Students need to understand कि final dividend जब propose हुआ है, this is for this year. The dividend final dividend proposed means that this dividend final dividend proposed means that this dividend is for 31st December 2022. We have to for the financial year 2022 we will have to ignore this. First ये पहले annual general meeting में ये approve होगा, and then we will pay it to the shareholders. That will be next year. Okay, तो जो करंट ईयर डिविडेंड होता है वी पे इट इन द नेक्स्ट ईयर. ओके, जो 2022 का डिविडेंड होगा वो 2023 में पे किया जाएगा. अगर कंपनी ने पे करना है वो भी उनकी मर्जी है. ओके, एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? तो यहाँ पर अभी कितने डिविडेंड पे हुए हैं सर? इट्स सिंपल के यहाँ पर 300,000 शेयर्स मल्टीप्लाई बाय 0.30, बस इतना ही डिविडेंड पे हुआ है. तो 1 मार्क विल बी फॉर दिस. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, $90,000 डिविडेंड पे हुए हैं. एवरीवन विथ मी? तो $90,000 जो है वो इसमें ऐड हो जाएंगे. एवरीवन गॉट दिस क्लियर, अंडरस्टूड? ठीक है. Is everyone got this with me following? And then sir, dividends को ऐड कर दिया. Hello, everyone got it? Guys following? Now the
Yes.
main thing will come. ये जो 6 मार्क्स का है इसमें से खाली 1 मार्क इसका है, और 1 मार्क जो है वो ओपनिंग बैलेंस निकालने का होगा. बाकी 4 मार्क्स किसी और चीज के हैं. And that is 4 marks are for this finding out how will you find out profit for the year. Okay everyone with me? Now comes the most important part of this question, that how will you find out the profit for the year. Okay everyone getting it clear? How will you find out the profit for the year? Okay, understood? Clear about? So what we need to understand that they haven't given us revenue, they have given us revenue, purchases and those things, but they haven't given us expenses and these things. Okay, everyone with me following? So what we need to do, we need to take help from these ratios to work it out. Okay, there is a reason why they have given the dividend yield. There is a reason why they have given the gross profit margin, dividend yield, and the price to earnings ratio, because we already know the formulas of them, and we will take the help from them to get the profit for the year. Okay, everyone with me following? Clear on this, guys? Everyone, any
Yes.
questions? Okay. So first of all, based on experience and learning, what we are going to do, we are going to take first the price to sorry, we are going to first take the dividend yield. Okay, dividend yield हम लेंगे first. Everyone getting it? So let's follow dividend yield, and let's do the start the working from here only. That's this is working number one. Closing balance, yeah, working number one, we can start from here. We already know dividend yield. So follow students, what is the dividend yield formula, that how much is dividend paid in terms of percentage. So students need to understand dividend yield was dividend per share, right? Everyone getting it? It is dividend per share. Guys following? What is the formula for this? Dividend per share and divided by the market value per share. Okay, what is the market value per share? Okay, this is the formula for the dividend yield, right? Everyone with me? In 200. So we are going to use this formula because we already know what is dividend per share. Everyone with me? Okay sir, I already know dividend per share क्या एक 0.3 है और एक 0.15 है. Okay, everyone with me getting it? पहले हम dividend per share यूज करके 0.3 और 0.15 को यूज करके, बिकॉज डिविडेंड लेते टोटल है, क्योंकि ये तो वर्किंग के लिए करे ना, फॉर्मूला कैलकुलेट करने के लिए करे, तो यहाँ पर हम दोनों दोनों रेशियो दोनों वो लेंगे, दोनों डिविडेंड्स लेंगे. एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? प्लीज नोट इट डाउन कि फॉर फाइंडिंग आउट द फॉर्मूलाज एंड फॉर फाइंडिंग आउट द मार्केट वैल्यू हम टोटल डिविडेंड लेते हैं. तो टोटल डिविडेंड 0.3 प्लस 0.15 ही. ओके एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? आंसर हम निकाल क्या रहे हैं? इज एवरीवन फॉलोइंग? 0.3 plus 0.15 is the total dividend proposed and final, and we don't know what is the market value, right? Everyone getting it? This is not known, but we know but we know this is 4%, right? Everyone getting it? Clear students? Guys following? So it will be simple. 0.3 plus 0.15, it will give us 0.45, I think, right? So here we go, 0.45 divided by the market value of per share, or the market price. I'm getting it? Market price per share. सब स्टूडेंट्स को पहले आइडिया होना चाहिए कि हम निकाल क्या रहे हैं. सर हम निकाल रहे हैं मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर निकालना चाह रहे हैं. ओके एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? इनटू इज इक्वल्स टू 4%. ओके, तो आप क्या कर देंगे? इट विल बी 0.45 डिवाइडेड बाय 4%. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, एवरीवन विथ मी फॉलोइंग? तो आपको मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर मिल जाएगी. एनी डाउट्स? लेट मी नो एनी क्वेश्चन. 0.45 डिवाइडेड बाय 4%, so we will get the market price, that is 11.25 is the market price per share. Okay everyone got it? हमारे पास मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर आ गई, दैट इज 11.25. एनी डाउट्स? एनीवन? लेट मी नो स्टूडेंट्स. कोई प्रॉब्लम है किसी को? प्लीज. Is everyone clear on this? Hello?
Yes.
Any questions? तो हमने market price per share निकाल लिया. Then students need to understand. अच्छा, a lot of students will have this question कि सर आपने पहले dividend yield क्यों use करा? आपने पहले price to earnings ratio क्यों use नहीं करा? तो अभी आप उसका reason भी आपको clear हो जाएगा कि price to earnings ratio का formula क्या होता है students? The price to earnings ratio का formula is, कोई बताएगा price to earnings ratio का formula? So let me write it down. Okay, it's very simple. Everyone understands कि price to earnings ratio is basically, the formula is market price per share. Okay, I'm writing it in short form because of the space issue. Market price per share divided by EPS. Okay, earnings per share. Everyone getting it? What is the market price price to earnings ratio? Market price per share divided by EPS, that is earnings per share. Everyone getting it? ठीक है. तो if you remember the formula, that's what you need to do in this topic. If you remember the formula, you will understand कि अगर आप स्टार्टिंग में ये फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करेंगे तो you don't have the earnings per share as well, sir, and I don't have the market price per share. Is everyone getting it? So this formula will not give you anything. Everyone getting it? This formula will not give you anything. There is not earnings per share available to us, and market price per share भी available नहीं है. But because हमने ये dividend yield available था, तो वी यूज द डिविडेंड यील्ड फर्स्ट. एवरीवन विथ मी कि सर हमने पहले डिविडेंड यील्ड यूज करा, उससे हमने पहले मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर निकाला, एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ द मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर हम अब ईपीएस भी निकाल सकते हैं कि ईपीएस स्टैंड्स फॉर द मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर, दैट इज 11.25 डिवाइडेड बाय द प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स रेशियो. प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स रेशियो इज गिवन, दैट इज 18. तो आपने ये यूज करना है स्टूडेंट्स, और आपके पास ईपीएस आ जाएगा कि अर्निंग्स पर शेयर 11.25 डिवाइडेड बाय 18 is basically 0.625 is the earnings per share. Is everyone there with me following? Students, clear about
Yes.
0.625 is the earnings per share. We got that as well. Okay, everyone getting it? I hope everyone is getting the connection between them. We started with dividend yield. From dividend yield formula, I'll repeat my point. We started with dividend yield. From yield formula, we calculated the market value or market price per share. From using the market price per share and applying the price to earnings ratio, we found out the EPS, that is the earnings per share. Okay. So now we have got the earnings per share, and following the chain and again linking it. So students will easily get it that we already know that the end thing that we have to find is the profit for the year. The end thing that we have to find is the profit for the year. So we already know, sir, the earnings per share formula as well. Okay, everyone getting it? Guys with me following? Everyone should know that earnings per share formula as well. So here we go. We have talked about it. The earnings per share formula is that you take the profit for the year. You need the profit for the year. Everyone getting it? Profit after tax, everything. How do you find EPS? EPS is basically profit for the year. Profit after tax, you can say profit after everything is subtracted, financial charges and tax. Profit for the year divided by the number of shares. Everyone with me following? Students getting it? By this way, you can easily find the profit for the year so that it will be simple. You already know that we have the EPS, that is 0.625, and you already know the number of shares, that is 300,000 shares. Make sure everyone remembers at the back of the mind there were 300,000 shares. Let me show you as well. 300,000 were the number of shares. So here you go, sir. This denominator multiplied by the other side, and you will get, using mathematical equations, you will get 187,500 as the profit for the year, which will be subtracted because we are going backward method, right, everyone? Which everyone getting it? We will, because we are going backward method, so this will be subtracted. Profit for the year, everyone understands now? Opposite way में जा रहे हैं. Dividends will be added. Fair profit for the year will be subtracted, and you will get what, students? Opening balance. Okay, retained earnings. Everyone with me, you will get, sir, retained earnings at the start of the year. Okay, understood? Let me know everyone got this. Retained earnings at 1st Jan 2022, and that will be 254,125 plus 90,000 minus 187,500. So I'm getting this as 156,625. That is the opening balance. 156,625. Okay, everyone got this clear? Understood? 156,625 is the opening balance of the retained earnings, with which this part is completed. And now we have half of the question, that is 12 marks we have got. Everyone clear? Let me know. Understood? Very
Sir,
important,
मुझे
very good, and very.
निकाला था उसमें.
आप repeat करिए question. Can you repeat your question? Your voice is
हमने
distorting.
ईपीएस की वैल्यू जो निकाली थी 0.625।
एग्जैक्टली जी जी बिल्कुल।
वो
पॉइंट
कैसे
सिक्स टू
निकाली?
फाइव वो हमने 0.625 जो हमने ईपीएस की वैल्यू निकाली है, वो हमने प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स रेशियो यूज किया था। प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स रेशियो का फॉर्मूला क्या है? द मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर डिवाइडेड बाय द ईपीएस। तो हमारे पास ईपीएस तो है नहीं, लेकिन हमारे पास प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स रेशियो गिवन है क्वेश्चन में, 18 टाइम्स इज द प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स रेशियो। और मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर जो है वो हमने पीछे पीछे निकाला है फॉर्मूला यूज करके डिविडेंड यील्ड का। तो हमने 11.25 को डिवाइड बाय 18 करा तो वी गॉट ईपीएस।
ओके।
ठीक है। अगर
जी।
मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर क्लियर नहीं हो रहा तो हमने डिविडेंड यील्ड वाले फॉर्मूला से निकाला है ऊपर के डिविडेंड यील्ड पता है, डिविडेंड पर शेयर पता है, लेकिन मार्केट प्राइस नहीं पता था, तो हमने इसको चेंज करके मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर निकाली। ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि यू विल यूज दैट रेशियो जिसमें एक चीज अननोन हो और आपको वही फाइंड करनी हो। फिर आप वो यूज करके अगला रेशियो फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं, देन यू यूज दैट वन एंड फाइंड आउट द नेक्स्ट रेशियो। आर यू गेटिंग इट? क्लियर?
यस।
ठीक है। एनी डाउट्स? लेट मी नो। एनी क्वेश्चंस? एनी प्रॉब्लम्स?
नो।
कोई और क्वेश्चन है? क्लैरिटी नहीं है तो वी कैन गो अगेन। इफ यू डोंट हैव एनी क्लैरिटी लेट मी नो, ऑफ एनीथिंग आई विल रिपीट इट अगेन। लेट मी नो।
नो।
Next thing you need to understand, students, is basically, again, as I mentioned a lot of times, they will definitely trouble you with the AS thing. Calculate the following at 31st December at the end of the year. You have to calculate the working capital cycle, okay? Students need to understand that you have to calculate the working capital cycle, and this is basically part of the AS level, but definitely tested in the A2 level as well. Okay, everyone getting it? So it's like topics that are common in both. So AS ratios, but yeah, but you can say that coming in A2 a lot of times. Okay, so we have to calculate working capital and we have to round each component up to the next whole day. Okay, so first thing is very simple and clear. What is the formula of working capital cycle in days? Anyone remembers? Working capital cycle in days. Anyone remembers the formula? What is it for working
यस।
capital cycle days? Yes, go on, I'm listening.
इन्वेंट्री टर्नओवर प्लस ट्रेड रिसीवेबल टर्नओवर माइनस ट्रेड पेएबल टर्नओवर।
Excellent, very good. So very good. Working capital cycle is basically, it's the we will have to add the inventory turnover. Okay, so inventory turnover, let me write it down for those who don't know. Inventory turnover in the days, you'll have to find inventory turnover in days, plus you will add the students receivables turnover. Okay, how much time customers, inventory turnover in days means what? Let me repeat that as well. Inventory turnover in days means how much time it takes for your inventory to sell off. Inventory turnover means how much time it takes your inventory to sell off. Receivable turnover in days means how much time it takes customers to pay you, how much time customers are taking to pay you for the debts they owe to you, and minus will be the payables turnover, that how much time you are taking, that is the company. Okay, this company, how much time the company is taking to pay to its suppliers in number of days. Okay, everyone getting it? This is the formula. Any doubts? Any problem? Clear? Guys getting it? And I will explain you the significance. I have given you the explanation of for all of them separately, but I will give you explanation of working capital cycle as well. What does that mean? What does working capital cycle means? So it's very simple. 6 marks means simple. 1 mark is for the answer. Remaining 5 marks are just finding out the ratios. Okay, everyone there with me? Following, guys, clear? So let's quickly find out with the workings. Okay, so let's first find out receivables turnover. Very simple. And let's find out the payables turnover. These will be 1 mark. I think only receivables turnover in days will be simple. Everyone must know the formula. What is receivables turnover? It's basically the receivables divided by the credit sales. So we can see, sir, clearly that revenue is all credit sales. Students need to understand. देखें यहाँ पर revenue सारा credit sales है तो आप सारा का सारा ले लेंगे, लेकिन अगर यहाँ if it was mentioned कि इसमें splitting है, इधर इधर स्प्लिटिंग की 80-20%, 70-30% की स्प्लिट है, तो फिर हम उसको स्प्लिट करते, अभी वी विल टेक द होल as it $825,000 as the whole revenue, and we have the trade receivable at 76,400. So this is very simple, just have to take values from their students. We'll do it quickly. Very receivables, if anyone wants to know the formula, it's receivables over the credit sales. Okay, so it's basically uh these are receivables. Okay, let me write it down. If anyone wants to formula, trade receivables at the end of the year divided by the credit sales into 365 to get the answer in number of days. Okay, everyone getting it clear? So it will be, how much is the revenue? 825,000. Okay, so we got it 825,000 here. and into 3. So 70, make sure you are using calculator. 76,400 divided by 825,000 students and into the 365. So we will get the answer as 33.80 days, 33.80 days. So you can round it off as they have said. Everyone with me? 33.8 days will be rounded off to 34 days. Okay, they have told us to round off to the next day. Okay, everyone getting it? So we got receivables turnover 34 days. Everyone with me following? Then let's find out the payables turnover. Guys, following with me? Payables turnover will be simple as well. Are you guys there following? Payables turnover
Yes.
will be simple as well. It will be the same thing that the payables, the credit suppliers. So trade payables, 32,900 purchases are all on credit. Same rule applies. Okay, students, the same rule will apply. If the purchases were split between 70, 30, 80, 20 cash and credit, then you will do the split. But because in this case, all of them on credit, so you will take all of them. Okay, because we take credit purchases only, so it will be 32,900 as the trade payables. Everyone with me? 32,900 as trade payables divided by the 32,900 as the trade payables divided by the purchases. 4,05,000. Everyone with me? Into 365 to get the number of days, and you will get the answer. Okay, students. So let's do the calculator. 32,900 divided by 405,000 into 365 quickly. So we got that as 29.65 days. And according to the examiner, because they have mentioned you have to round up to the next whole day. Everyone getting it? Make sure follow the instructions, round each component. So you will get that as 30 days. Okay, everyone getting it? Clear? Students got it? Any questions,
Yes.
any concerns? So this is 34 days. Okay. This is 30 days. And the last one that we have to find is basically make sure all workings will be shown in this column. Okay, all workings to be shown in this column. Once you have got the payables turnover, what we are left with is the inventory turnover. Okay, everyone there with me? So let's do it. Inventory turnover as well. Following everyone? Inventory turnover. So what is the formula for inventory turnover? Everyone there with me? Inventory turnover students should need to understand कि जब भी हम inventory turnover days में find करेंगे, so it will be the average inventory. Average inventory, I will explain what is average inventory. Although I was explaining IGCSE students, average inventory divided by the cost of sales into 365. Okay. Hope everyone got this, that we will have to take average inventory divided by the cost of sales into 365. Okay, everyone got it clear? Students following? Now, the problem is, everyone with me, the problem is we don't have cost of sales. We don't have cost of sales, and we already have the closing inventory, but we don't have opening inventory as well. Everyone there with me following? So nothing to worry about. The other formulas will help you. If you remember carefully, we haven't used the gross profit margin up till yet. Is everyone there with me? We haven't used the gross profit margin up till yet. So we are going to use that to get the answer. Okay, students, everyone following?
Yes.
So here we go. Everyone should understand what is the gross profit margin. So I'm going to apply the margin formula here. So everyone can get what, how can I find the cost of sales? Follow margin. Margin formula is S. That is the sales revenue, students. S. 1 minus R is equals to C. Okay. S times 1 minus R is equals to C. Everyone with me following? So, sir, you already have the revenue. That is basically 825,000 is the revenue. Everyone getting it? 1 minus the gross profit margin. What is the margin? Margin is 48%. So gross profit, sorry, sales minus 1 minus 48% will give me the cost of sales. Students, C stands for cost of sales. So here we go, students. This is the cost of sales. Okay, understood? That is $429,000. Okay, any doubts? Anyone, any problems? Let me know now. 429,000 is the cost of sales. Are you guys with me following? Clear? Quickly understood? So
Yes.
we have got the denominator cost of sales. Okay, students, we have got the denominator that is cost of sales. Now, how will you find the average inventory? The first thing students need to understand that what is average inventory. If you don't know it, follow carefully. Average inventory is simple. Opening inventory plus the closing inventory divided by 2. Okay, opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. But the problem is that we don't have the opening inventory. We only have the closing inventory. But shouldn't be a worry about it, because what, sir, you already know the formula for cost of sales as well. As I said, the formulas should be imprinted in your mind and you don't have to memorize them. It's just all about practice. Okay. So here we go. So cost of sales is equals to opening inventory plus purchases minus the closing inventory, and that is the cost of sales, right, students? Everyone with me following there? So here we go. We just have found out that the cost of sales is 429,000, right? Am I right? Cost of sales is 429,000. Everyone, what is opening inventory? Sir, we don't know. Are you guys with me? Sir, we know purchases. Purchases are already all on credit, 405,000. Purchase are 4,05,000. Guys with me following. And we
Yeah.
already know, sir, that the core closing inventory is basically 44,000. So you subtract and do that. And here you go, students. You will get the opening inventory as well. That is basically cost of sales plus the closing inventory minus the opening inventory. And I'm getting it as 68,000 as the opening inventory. Okay. Is everyone getting it? 68,000 as the opening inventory I'm getting, students. Okay. Clear on this? Hello. Make sure this
Yes.
working will also be shown there. Okay. So here we go, sir. I got the opening inventory as well. Let's do it here. That the average inventory will be simple. Average inventory will be you can say that what was it, 68,000, right? 68,000 as the opening inventory plus closing inventory 44,000 and divided by 2. So that will be our average inventory. Okay, everyone got this? We got that as $56,000. Okay, understood, clear? Any problems, any issues, let me know. Got that? No concerns, right? 56,000 is the average inventory. Understood, clear on this? Any concerns, let me know. Now, once we got this, we'll apply the formula, sir. So average inventory is $56,000 divided by cost of sales as $429,000 into 365. And we will get that 56,429 into how many days? We are getting it as 47 point something 65645, which will result in the next day, that is 48 days. Okay, everyone got this clear? And here we go, sir. Now we have got all the days in our hands. Everyone with me? So inventory turnover is 48 days. 48 plus the receivables is basically 34 and minus 30 days for the trade payables. So we are going to get, students, 48 days plus 34 days minus 30 days, 52 days as the working capital cycle days. Okay, everyone getting it? Working capital cycle days, that is 52 days. Got it, students? Clear? Understood?
Yes.
Working capital cycle days are coming 52 days. Okay, now I will explain you the importance of this as well. What does 52 days mean? Okay, because eventually separate, so yeah, separate. Everyone know this is this page done as well. This page in a nutshell. Everyone got this idea, right? Okay, sir, okay, receivables turnover is how much time it takes customers to pay us, and the payables turnover is basically how much time it takes the company to pay to its suppliers. Okay. Inventory turnover is how much time, how much days it takes for the inventory to be sell off, how much inventory is sell off in how much time. That is inventory turnover. But what is the meaning of working capital cycle? We will look at the theory concept as well. Okay. In the theory perspective for 5 marks that we have to write. But let's finish off the numerics first. Last numeric in this question is, as always, you will have to somewhat find one of the ratios. So we have to find the gearing ratio here as well. Okay, students, getting it? Everyone with me? For 2 marks, you have to
Yes.
find the gearing ratio. And as we have already talked about, gearing ratio is basically simple. It tells us about how much debt and how much equity is there, whether the company is financing through debt more, या company ज़्यादा debt से financing कर रही है, या company ज़्यादा equity से finance कर रही है. So we always take in the numerator for the gearing ratio what, students? The fixed cost. The fixed cost of the capital, that is basically, we can say here, that is the liability that is fixed, दैट इज द डिबेंचर्स ओनली इन दिस केस. ठीक है, डिबेंचर्स पे आपको फिक्स इंटरेस्ट मिलता है, तो आप डिबेंचर्स ले लेंगे. इन द न्यूमरेटर का आपका 100,000 जो है वो लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज हैं. एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? 100,000 is your long term liability, and you divide by that by the equity, by the total equity you will have to divide, students. आप equity से इसको divide कर देंगे तो you already know the equity, that 300,000 is the share capital, 30,000 is the share premium. There are no other reserves like general reserve or revaluation reserve, but you have the retained earnings, students. Retained earnings as well comes part of the equity. Okay, retained earnings closing balance you will take. Make sure students follow करें. आपको जो गेयरिंग रेशियो फाइंड करना है वो बेसिकली एट द एंड ऑफ ईयर फाइंड करना है। ओके, आपको जो गेयरिंग रेशियो फाइंड करना है वो एट द एंड ऑफ ईयर फाइंड करना है। सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड अंडरस्टैंड दिस क्लियरली के न्यूमरेटर में लाइबिलिटीज आती हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज। ओके, न्यूमरेटर में हम लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटी लिखते हैं और डिनोमिनेटर में हम इक्विटी लिखेंगे। एवरीवन विथ मी फॉलोइंग? क्लियर है बात? डिनोमिनेटर में हम इक्विटी और लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटी दोनों लिखते हैं। ठीक है, एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? इक्विटी और लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटी दोनों लिखते हैं डिनोमिनेटर में। आर यू गाइस विथ मी फॉलोइंग?
Yes.
Equity plus the long term liability, so it will be 300,000, 30,000, 100,000 for the debentures, and the retained earnings coming as well, that is 254,125. With this, numerics is completed. Okay, so it will be, just add them, 100,000 divided by 300,000 plus this month, and retained earnings, because this is part of equity, so I'm getting it as into 100%. Two decimal place I have to give the answer. This is coming 14.62%. Okay, students, which is should be 14. Yeah, it is correct. Okay, everyone got it? 14.62%, which means we can clearly see a gearing ratio is very low, and which means they are less financing from debt. Okay, debt से कम finance कर रहे हैं, आउटसाइडर से कम ले रहे हैं डेट, और ज़्यादातर इक्विटी से फाइनेंसिंग हो रही है। लोन्स जो हैं और जो लाइबिलिटीज हैं वो कम है उनकी। इन्होंने डिबेंचर्स और बैंक लोन्स नहीं लिए हुए इतने, खाली 14%। लो गेयरिंग रेशियो है, जो कि सम केसेस में फेवरेबल होता है लेकिन सम केसेस में एडवर्स होगा। बट एट द मोमेंट द गेयरिंग रेशियो इज लो, लेस देन 50%। का फाइनेंसिंग जो है वो डेट से बहुत कम है। ठीक है एवरीवन, गॉट दैट क्लियर? अंडरस्टूड? एनी प्रॉब्लम्स? गॉट इट? एनी क्वेश्चंस? Now, last part, 20 marks we have achieved, students. Last part for 5 marks, for total 25 marks to get and achieve. We have part D. I would like everyone to just quickly read it so that we can quickly start solving and understand how to write down the 5 marks theory. Okay. Got it, everyone clear?
Yes.
Okay, so what we have is basically a BPLC. BPLC is a major competitor. So there's another company. BPLC has a working capital which is 5 days shorter than that of ZPLC. So BPLC, jo it's a competitor. BPLC is the competitor for the as ZPLC. Okay, students, BPLC is a competitor for the ZPLC, and they have a shorter time span. Okay, it has a working capital which is 5 days shorter than that of ZPLC, the BPLC major competitor. We have to advise the directors of ZPLC whether they should or not be concerned about the company's working capital cycle. We have to justify our answer whether our company ZPLC should be whether our company ZPLC should be concerned about the company's working capital or not. Okay, whether they should be concerned about the company's working capital or not, and we have to justify our answer. Okay, so first thing, students need to understand that what is the significance of the working capital cycle. Coming back to the question, so we need to understand that, sir, working capital cycle is basically will tell us that how much, for how much time, for how many days, for how much time the company's money is tied up. The company's money, the company's funds are tied up. So for our company, that is ZPLC, ZPLC के लिए students 52 days तक we can say that the funds are tied up. It represents working capital cycle in days, represents the number of days our funds will be tied up in the form of the working capital. In the form of working capital, our funds will be tied up. So ये 52 days, it's a huge concern for me. According to me, I think it's a huge concern because it's a lot of days, almost 2 months. And उनके जो competitor है उनका थोड़ा सा कम है, उनका फिर भी 47 days है। अगर हमारा 52 days आ रहा है तो उनका 5 days shorter है, which means उनका 47 days है। तो competitor BPLC का 47 days है, जो कि still better है। Okay, everyone getting it? So you should write what points? Is everyone with me following? Clear? आपने दोनों तरफ points लिखने हैं कि ZPLC should be concerned. Everyone getting it? तो आपने ये लिखना है कि ZPLC should be concerned about working capital cycle. ZPL should be concerned about working capital cycle. ZPLC should be concerned about working capital cycle. Why, students? Okay, ZPLC should be concerned about working capital cycle because it might lead to because because the funds are tied up for 52 days. The funds are tied up for 52 days. Funds are tied up for almost 2 months or 52 days. Okay, everyone getting it? Almost 2 months or 52 days, which might lead to liquidity and cash management problems. Okay, which might lead to liquidity. Everyone getting it? Which might lead to
Yes.
liquidity and cash management problems or insolvency, the bankruptcy thing might lead to liquidity and cash management problems. These are some words you can write down. Solvent cash management problems. The bankruptcy point you can write down as well. Getting it, everyone? So that is why he should be concerned, which means that the customers are taking too much time. Okay, everyone getting it? You can write down the reasons. You can write down the reasons that you can have to write, or let me write it down. These are pointers. Make sure make a point. Customers are taking too much time. Customers are making payments delayed. Okay, customers are making payments delayed. Okay, everyone following? Customers are making payments delayed. आपने खाली बुराई करनी है. Customers are making payments delayed. Company ZPLC is paying suppliers too early. ठीक है, ZPLC is paying suppliers. Although it's a good thing that you are paying on time in general practical life, but that doesn't happen. ZPLC is paying suppliers on time or early payments. ZPLC and is holding too much inventory. Inventory का drawback क्या है? Inventory turnover का can is holding too much inventory. So there is this problem and is holding too much inventory. Everyone getting it clear? So आप ये points भी लिख सकते हैं कि that is why these are the reasons कि ZPLC should be concerned about the company's working capital because they are holding too much inventory. They are paying their suppliers too early or on time, and their customers are making their payments late and delayed. Okay, everyone getting it? And there is poor credit control or check and balance is not maintained. ठीक है? You can also say कि आपका जो management है, poor credit control है, आप टाइम पे पेमेंट्स रिसीव नहीं करें तो मैनेजमेंट इश्यूज है. ठीक है, एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? सही है. सो मेक श्योर, ये तो बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स हो गए, आपने खाली 2 पॉइंट्स लिखने फॉर द फॉर. ओके, 2 पॉइंट्स फॉर ऑन दिस. ओके, एवरीवन गेटिंग इट? अब नाउ दो अगेंस्ट भी लिखेंगे आप. फॉर 2 marks यू विल राइट points against as well. Everyone with me? 2 marks you will write for against as well. Guys following? So
Yes.
what will happen कि you have to tell the examiner कि ZPLC should not be concerned. Why ZPLC should not be concerned? So I will give the simple reason. आप जिस इंडस्ट्री में होते हैं आप उसके हिसाब से चलते हैं, राइट? So ZPLC should not be concerned about the working capital cycle, and the reason is about because of the competitor. VPLC is a major competitor who also have almost similar type of it. ZPLC should not be concerned about the working capital because working capital because it is the same conditions working capital cycle due to the same situation due to same situation uh, due to same situation being witnessed by the competitors के competitors जो हैं वो भी सेम सिचुएशन ही फेस कर रहे हैं. इस मार्केट के डायनामिक्स ही ऐसी हैं. जिस मार्केट में ये लोग काम करते हैं पीएलसी में, ZPLC जो कंपनी जिस मार्केट से, उनके जो है वो उनका जो वर्किंग कैपिटल वो होता ही लेट है. जैसे उनका भी ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है, 47 days और 52 days का फर्क नहीं है. So this being witnessed by the competitors because of the industry, by the other competitors because of the industry. इतना कोई significant difference नहीं है. Everyone getting it? Following me? By the other competitors being witnessed by the other competitors due to same industry, due to same industry. आप clearly लिख सकते हैं कि it is not a material difference, it is not a significant difference. Getting it, everyone? It is not a significant difference. इतना खास difference नहीं है ना. अगर होता कि 50 days और उसका 100 days है तो फिर प्रॉब्लम होती, राइट? वो सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस है कि डबल का फर्क आ रहा है. इट इज नॉट अ सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस एज वेल. Guys with me? Everyone following? Clear on this?
Yes.
It is not a significant difference. Everyone clear? And there may be some other, you can write like this के other, ये तो काफी है इतना. but you can write कि there may be some other non-financial factors. There may be some different policies जिसकी वजह से उनका less आ रहा हो. Some other policies are implemented. Non-financial factors can be taken into account that might be impacting the financial statements. And 1 mark will be for decision, which I will give in the against that he should not be worried about it because ये norm ऐसा ही है. तो ZPLC should not be worried about it. Okay, ZPLC should not be worried about it. So make sure you take a side by giving 1 mark for the decision. Okay, everyone getting it? 1 mark is for giving your decision. Whatever you think, you have to choose a side after writing both parts of the stories. Okay, everyone getting it? Is everyone clear with me? With this, this theory is done and the question is completed. Everyone getting it, guys? Clear? Any problems?
No.
Okay, so make sure revise and we'll continue from here. Okay. ठीक है जी.
Okay.
Thank you. Take